Your minds back, chums, to, of course, 2021. And this particular bombshell, if you remember, that's right, Time magazine, remember that? This was, of course, the launch, wasn't it, of Harry and Meghan being taken as serious people. And if you remember, there was a sort of celebrity chef friend who basically said, well, Harry and Meghan run towards danger, trouble, and try and sort it out. They must have been doing that in that 1 hour a week that they did for their charitable events. You know the one I mean. Of course, fast forward 2025 and things are looking radically different now for Meghan Markle. She's not such a sort of entrepreneur as such, but as a person who wants to become a major lifestyle influencer. And she's heading back to New York, but things necessarily aren't going to plan. As ever, let me explain. Chums, nice to see you. You know, many years ago, sorry, we'll have a lovely wave. Many years ago, you would have had, like, to be on Time magazine was the thing, wasn't it? You know, everybody wanted to be on the front cover. I remember years and years ago working in the music industry when George Michael made it, and it was seen as a big thing, you know, a major British star landing such an illustrious cover. And then, like everything, it sort of gets less and less, doesn't it? There, you know, lies your problem. It's never as big as one would imagine. What I find fascinating about certain things when they go, you know, a little bit, shall we say, away, as it were, is that obviously they've still got to get viewers, clicks and all that sort of stuff. It's difficult in the marketing publishing world. We all still read things, but we read them in a different way, and print, sadly, is dying. But the front cover can be very powerful, whether that's Vogue, The Hollywood Reporter, whatever, it still has a lot of clout. And that's what Meghan Markle was hoping as she relaunched herself once again, this time as a speaker coming up in about a day's time in the Times 100 event. And what was fascinating again about this is that Meghan has been invited along, even though she hasn't made the cut of some of the front covers, which she thought she was going to make. As ever, it's been spun back, and I can tell you this exclusively, as, well, no, she never anticipated to be on the front cover. She didn't like to repeat things. After all, she'd been on the front cover previously. She had, but the agreement, as we remember, was the fact that Prince Harry would be posing alongside her. They didn't feel Meghan was strong enough, allegedly, to carry the front cover alone. And there you had him looking like a hairdresser, flicking back those locks and making her look, well, all important. You get the picture. But moving forward now, as she heads back to New York City, what can we expect? Well, it's been hosted by Snoop Dogg, the rapper who was last seen over here promoting some kind of biscuit. So yes, do you know what I'm saying? Not exactly illustrious, and I like Snoop Dogg. He's a nice guy. I've interviewed him, but you know what I mean. Well, what can we expect from Meghan? Well, apparently behind the scenes there's a few problems emerging already. Where will she be on the running order? That is, of course, the order of where you're going to go down the line, because obviously there are star, you know, people, and the people that they've got, clearly, they're decided, well, they've squeezed Meghan in. Well, Meghan's been squeezed in simply because, of course, she's part of the, how can I put this nicely? A lot of people are sponsoring the event, you get the picture. Say, for instance, like Netflix and their boss, Ted. Well, he's also popping up to give a speech. And when you find, well, who's sponsoring the event and who's putting money behind it, then you normally find out exactly where the money's coming from. And if you've got talent on your roster, a little bit like agents, etc., then you can persuade them for 5 to 10 minutes to give a speech. Now, what I've been told is that Meghan won't be utilising this opportunity to reiterate the famous soap speech that so many people apparently haven't heard, that Katie Couric forced her to do live on stage last year. No, she's moving on from that. The idea so far is for Meghan to speak about how difficult it's been to launch a brand. Not necessarily, you know, mentioning American Riviera Orchard, but nonetheless, that's where the focus will be. And the protection of this is fascinating because it won't be released literally until the early part of May. And this will be on ABC and Time's own streaming platform. So for now, Meghan will be very much protected. And she's hoping by speaking to the illustrious set that she hopes to join, they may give her her fair chance. And more importantly, when this gets back to Hollywood, people might suddenly decide that perhaps everybody's read Meghan wrongly. And more importantly, well, you know, in the fullness of time, if she works hard, will she be allowed in? The pivotal point here to look out for is, how did Meghan get that speech, that opportunity, the invitation? Well, as I said, friends in high places for now. Netflix are investing heavily in Meghan Markle, not just with her brand, but a TV show. And they believe, as Ted has very publicly stated, that Meghan could shift anything. Now's the time to see if his belief can be truly put to the test. Neil Sean, Kensington, London.